Snow covered the fences and fields around Jacob Miller's ranch, turning the land quiet and white. Christmas Eve had come again, but to Jacob it felt like just another cold night. Since his wife had died 2 winters earlier, the holidays no longer brought joy. They only reminded him of what was missing. Jacob kept to himself. He fixed his own fences. He cooked his own meals. He spoke to no one unless he had to. The house felt too big for one man, but he had grown used to the silence. It was easier than remembering laughter that would not return. That evening, as the wind howled and snow thickened, Jacob heard a knock at the door. At first he thought it was the wind hitting the wood. Then he heard it again. He opened the door slowly, rifle nearby but lowered. A woman stood on the porch wrapped in a thin coat, snow in her hair, her hands shaking from cold. She looked exhausted, frightened, and embarrassed all at once. "I'm sorry to bother you, sir," she said quietly. "I ain't got nowhere to go, but I can cook." Jacob studied her face. She was not asking for charity with pride. She was asking with survival in her eyes. "What's your name?" he asked. "Mary," she said, "Mary Collins." He stepped aside. "Come in before you freeze." Mary hesitated as if expecting to be turned away even after being invited. Then she stepped inside, her boots leaving wet marks on the floor. Jacob poured her a cup of coffee and set a plate of bread on the table. "Sit," he said. "You're safe for the night." Mary's hands shook as she wrapped them around the cup. "Thank you," she whispered. As the fire crackled, Mary slowly told her story. She had worked as a cook for a family in town. When the husband died, the family lost their income. They let her go before winter, saying they couldn't afford to keep her. She had no family nearby. No savings, just cold roads and closed doors. "I tried every house I knew," she said. "Most folks already got someone, or they don't want another mouth to feed." Jacob nodded. He understood loss and being left behind more than he liked to admit. "You can stay tonight," he said. "We'll see about tomorrow." Mary swallowed hard. That's more than enough. That night Jacob slept lighter than usual. Not because he feared Mary, but because the house felt different. Not empty, not echoing. In the morning Christmas Day, Jacob woke to a smell he hadn't noticed in years. Cooking. Bacon. Coffee. Fresh bread warming on the stove. Mary stood in the kitchen, nervous but focused, stirring a pot. "I hope it's all right," she said quickly. "I just wanted to help. Seemed wrong to sit while you did everything." Jacob looked at the table. It was set. Carefully. Like someone cared. "It's more than all right," he said quietly. They ate together in near silence, but it was not uncomfortable. It was the kind of silence that comes from 2 people who understand pain and do not need to fill every space with words. After breakfast, Jacob offered her real work. "I could use a cook," he said, "and help around the house. I'll pay you fair if you want." Mary looked up, surprised. "You mean, not just today?" "I mean as long as you need," Jacob said. Tears filled her eyes, but she blinked them back. "Yes," she said, "I'd like that very much." Days turned into weeks. Mary brought warmth back into the house. Not just with food, but with small things. Curtains washed and hung, a broom always nearby, flowers brought in when she found them, even in winter. Jacob fixed fences and tended cattle. They worked around each other. Not rushed. Not forced. Just steady. One evening, sitting by the fire, Mary spoke softly. "I lost my husband too," she said, "fever 3 years ago." Jacob looked at her. "I'm sorry," he said. "So am I," she replied. "Some days it still feels like yesterday." They did not speak for a long time after that. But something changed. They were no longer just 2 strangers sharing a roof. They were 2 people who understood grief and healing. The town began to notice. People saw light in Jacob's windows again. They saw smoke from cooking. They saw a ranch that felt alive. On the next Christmas, a year later, Jacob and Mary stood on the porch watching snow fall. "You ever think about how close I was to walking past this house?" Mary said. "I'm glad you didn't," Jacob replied. "So am I," she said. Neither of them spoke of love in big words. They did not rush. They let kindness do what force never could. The widowed rancher found purpose again. The woman with nowhere to go found a home. And on a cold Christmas night, a simple knock on a door changed 2 lonely lives forever. Store details. Title: "I ain't got nowhere to go, sir, but I can cook. The Christmas visit that changed a widowed rancher's life." Disclaimer: this story is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes only. All characters, events, and locations are imaginary. The story focuses on kindness, dignity, and emotional healing. Description: on a freezing Christmas night, a lonely widow knocks on a rancher's door with nowhere else to turn. What begins as a simple request for shelter becomes a heartfelt story of second chances, healing, and how small acts of kindness can change lives forever.